Hello, everyone. So we are all online for this session that will be dedicated to the defense and security sector in Europe. And we'll have a look for the next 45 minutes actually to these areas, more particularly regarding the SMEs access to it, the innovative SMEs, European innovative SMEs access to it, and also from the angle of procurement, notably public procurement in the sector, in these two sectors. So I hope you hear me well, actually. I would love to have a kind of confirmation. Chris, Bertrand,
Yes.
Yeah.
you hear me? Okay, cool. I felt a little bit alone here, but
no, you're not.
It's cool, good to hear this. So my name is Bertrand Wert. I'm currently here in Brussels within the EIC summit. Indeed, due to the situation, it's a pity that you're not all here in Brussels. We still have a physical event here, and we will spend the next 45 minutes to the topic. I won't be alone, hopefully, because to be very frank, I will present myself, but just to start, security and defense are not my day-to-day area of work, but still, we'll explain you why EIC and why myself and my team, we wish to be more involved. And to listen today, to four speakers actually. So first, we will have Cristina Leone, working for Leonardo, that's gonna be with us. Then we will have Bertrand Roehrig, and Bertrand is working for the French Ministry of Interior actually, and he is a procurer. Cristina is a senior manager in Leonardo. Then we will have also two CEOs actually, Chris from the Netherlands, and Chris will present what they do in terms of use of images and visual to support armies and police forces. And then we will have also Benjamin, that is from Paris or France actually, and that has a nice technology in solar drones actually. So the reason why we, the EIC, try to get into the field is that you may know that the EIC Accelerator, we have 6,000 companies amongst the most innovative companies in Europe, and even further, since we have also associated countries, to name them the UK, Norway, Turkey, Israel, Ukraine, and these forward-looking companies, member of the EIC, a certain number of them are already active in the security business, particularly because we do cover this sector. In the defense is another story, because officially we are not able to enter, to grant, to support companies active in the defense sector, but still, we're looking at it. Also worth to mention that we have other programs at European level with whom we are collaborating well. I will mention here the European Defense Fund, that Chris, you are actually one of the awardees of this fund. And therefore, yeah, your presence today is also a manner to pay tribute to the work of the colleagues from DG Defis, notably. To add to this, that my daily work within the EIC Accelerator is precisely to support our companies in whom we are giving grants, but also are investing via equity. I'm trying more than giving them money and financial events. My work is to try to put them in contact, public organization, administrations, also private companies running public procurement, but it can be also private procurement. That's the reason why we do have today Cristina from Leonardo, and for the procurement side, the public procurement side, we do have Bertrand from the French Ministry of Interior. We wish to help support more companies to get into these two field of procurement, public and private in the security and defense. That's a bit the rationale of today's seminar, where we will try to learn more how to get access to these security and defense fields via public and private procurement. So we'll try to get some tips, information, practices that public or private procurers in the fields are trying to deploy to attract innovative SMEs, to attract to them innovative solutions. I will finish my short introduction by saying that these two sectors are very important economic sectors. The couple of numbers I found, the data I found, and here, well, I want to thank actually the colleagues from DG DEFIS notably, and DG Home also, for their support in preparing this seminar. So the defense sector represents barely per year 100 billion euro in Europe, 100 billion euro. Most of it is done via procurement, public procurement. That's also a strong rationale for us to be more active in the field. And on the security business, I do found numbers of roughly 30 billion euro per year in terms of security business that are expanding indeed. And that's also the reason why we want to be more active and support more companies to get access to it. Well, the presentation will be followed hopefully by a session of Q&A. So do not hesitate to intervene at the end when Cristina, Bertrand, Chris, and Benjamin will have finished. Cristina, if you're ready, I will pass you the microphone, if I can say.
Thank you, Bertrand, and thank you for inviting me in this section. Now I share my presentation. So, as Bertrand said, I start presenting the point of view of a large company working in aerospace, defense, and security business. Leonardo is a multinational company, so it's a global company working in 4 main domains: helicopters, military and civil helicopters, defense, electronics and security, aeronautics, both civil and defense, and space. We have revenues for 13 billion euro, and we invest a lot in R&D. We have a 1.6 billion euro here investing in R&D. The supply chain for us is a fundamental element for our competitiveness. And we have a specific program, open platform, in order to work together with our supply chain in order to improve their capabilities, support them in innovate their solution, and create an innovation ecosystem that will improve the competitiveness of our product. For some numbers, we have about 9 billion euro in purchasing per year, in purchasing outside the company, so in small and medium enterprises mainly, and also university and academia. And we have about 11,000 suppliers in our supply chain. So it's quite a big market. In which way a large company cooperate with the supply chain? I was looking today on our innovation part, because we would like to speak about innovative procurement. And a large company mainly look and scout new technologies, looking outside the company, because just in a very small part of our investment fund, we invest in very low TRL level, but we look on what is happening outside the company and work with the supply chain. So in our open innovation model, we have 4 area of collaboration, what we call out. So we partner with other companies, and we look for joint programs funded by external sources, such as the European Commission, for example. Or the out-in, so we look at what's happening outside and we try to put inside to our product what are the most innovative solutions that could be integrated in our business. Or also the in-out, we invest in technologies and solutions inside the company, but sometimes those technologies don't fit exactly on our business. So we put them on the market or transfer to small and medium enterprises. Or the in, we have internal labs in which we develop some specific and strategic technologies. So the collaboration with the supply chain and with the small and medium enterprise start from a procurement. So we procure technology solution with the marketing, distribution, and partnership. Sometimes we have a joint marketing campaign with the small and medium enterprise, or also we sell together with our product also what are the solution of our supply chain. We have a license agreement on both sides. We have a joint program that this is something that it's quite normal in defense and security business. And also we arrive in some specific cases to a joint venture, so we could invest in a share of a startup or a small and medium enterprise. Some point of attention and some element on which we could discuss after all the presentation. The customer working in defense and security domain are quite conservative. Just in the last recent years, they are creating units or department embracing innovation processes. This is our experience. So we need to set up a platform for innovation procurement in which altogether military operators, academia, large company, and small and medium enterprise can show and test some solution and discuss with the customer the approach, the solution, the IPR rules, and also all the security aspects. In this environment, Leonardo works together with the supply chain, pushing innovative solution of cooperation. One of the models that we are mainly used for this cooperation with the end user are the proof of concept. So we work together with the supply chain and organize some proof of concept together, large companies, small and medium enterprise, working together and try to look to future capabilities for our customers. In this respect, I believe that the AIC as the instrument that can support startup, small and medium enterprises, in particular, those that are at a later stage, more close to the project through the accelerator instrument, or for those that are at the early stage with the Pathfinder or the transition instrument. But also they could create an environment to support together with the large company the participation of small and medium enterprises to other programs of a European Commission, such as Horizon Europe, the Digital Europe, or EDF. In EDF, my colleague perhaps speak about it afterward. There are specific calls for small and medium enterprises, and also the small and medium enterprises are supporting in the participation of companies program because there is an instrument of bonuses in which this support is also supported by funding of European Commission. So this is it's a very clever way to collaborate with the end user, with the customer, with the large industry, and the overall ecosystem of supply chain. Thank you.
Grazie, Cristina. Thanks a lot for sharing these actually this presentation about what you do in Leonardo, notably in managing your supply chain. What you say, I noticed down your purchasing power, which is impressive indeed. You mentioned 8 billion a year and 9 billion even a year with a supply chain of more than 9,000 companies, and indeed curious to know if you would have the number of how many SMEs you have in there, and eventually even European SMEs. And as you actually, that's what we are very key and important. One of the ways that indeed the services that we are modestly trying to offer to our companies, the business acceleration services that we offer to our 6,000 beneficiaries, we will be very keen actually to share them with EDF beneficiaries. And there, Chris, your feedback could be quite interesting. But you will have the mic in a minute. And if you agree, Cristina, we'll continue the discussion with you later. Now we perhaps go to Bertrand. If you're there, if you hear us, the yes, floor will be yours. Cool. Floor is yours, Bertrand.
So I'm going to make a short presentation about what we do for procurements in the Ministry of Interiors in France. We have a full service, please next, a full service who works for procurements, innovation and logistics in different fields. The main fields of my service is to procure to the security forces, especially police and gendarmerie, their uniforms. We provide clothes for approximately 300,000 people. We provide them with all their vehicles, with specific police vehicles and normal vehicles, armored vehicles. Sometimes this year we had a whole program of armored vehicles, also motorcycles, some boats, also to watch after the borders, especially in the north of France. If you heard about the recent events. We also provide them with all their weapons, their ammunition, and of course, regarding the threats that exist towards the police and gendarmerie, we provide them with armored helmets, bulletproof vests, and so on. All that helps them to be protected in their missions. Some people are also in charge of forensic equipment and the equipment for road safety, that is speedometers, alcohol and drug detection devices, and so on. So we buy approximately all that allows the security forces to make their missions, except the IT and the radio systems that are made by another service. Out of this, we also have a specific laboratory which is in charge of studying physics, ballistics, chemistry, and textile. They check that all what we buy is obeys to what we really want, obeys to the safety rules. And this service makes also some research. We we finance every year or every 2 years a doctoral thesis in different fields, and at the moment it's about the effects of bullets on the bulletproof vests, because I don't know if everybody knows, but when you receive a bullet with such a vest, you can have effects behind the vest. So we study all these effects to improve more and more the equipment of our forces, and we are always looking for innovation in these fields to have more comfortable solutions, more effective, and so on. Just to say a word on other parts of my service, there's also a juridical department inside, which is in charge of all the legal aspects of our procurements, and another part is in charge of logistics to deliver all what we buy to the forces. Please, next slide, please. So I would like to talk about two examples where we try to stimulate innovations, because we have specific credits to support societies to develop systems. Our credits are very limited. We had about 100,000 euros this year. I hope we will get more next year. So when we identify a need inside the forces, we try to get a solution, and we help a society, especially small societies, startups, to develop their products. Two examples: an exoskeleton that we developed with an intervention force. As the threats are really strong now, our forces are obliged to use armored shields to enter some buildings when they intervene. These shields are very heavy, more than 25 kilograms. So when you have to wear to take them on your arm during hours and hours, it can be very difficult. So we asked a society to develop an exoskeleton, and what is interesting is that this society was not used to work for security forces. They developed exoskeletons for garden tools, which are heavy also for gardeners, but we thought that it was a good idea to ask them to develop something for us. And now we supported them by buying prototypes, and that are going to be tried in the forces next week. Another example, we saw in the recent demonstrations in France that the demonstrators sometimes use laser rays against the police forces, and our forces are not protected against that. So we asked a startup to develop a solution, and we have great. We think that it would be great for them. It will work, and it will not be uncomfortable for the users. So once more, we facilitate the testing inside the forces, which is the thing that the societies could not do without us. If we don't, they can't be allowed to solicit directly the security forces to propose their materials. As a conclusion, please, next slide. What we could wait from the EIC, would say that I'm sure that the security forces in Europe share the same threats. In Germany, as well in Italy or Spain, the threats are globally the same than in France. So innovating projects could be sometimes enlarged at a European level, but we don't have we directly the capabilities to ask all the other forces if they studied one thing or the other. And maybe the EIC could be a support in this field. Maybe you could be also a support for projects that when we identify a solution, but we don't have the means to finance it. And anyway, it could benefit we could wait benefits from from other countries' projects if we see something interesting in another country. And the main the aim is, of course, to enlarge the procurements, perhaps at a European level, to get better prices, because the most important is to spend the public money in the better way. Thank you.
Thank you for reminding this, Bertrand. Yes, you're absolutely right. This might be called joint procurement, achat conjoint, as we did for the vaccines. Look, we were able, at least it was European Commission purchasing for the member states,
Right.
but also we've seen some member states purchasing together. So absolutely, we know how to do that. So if you have the wish at your level, administrative level, we do have the same. I'm sure the colleagues, notably in DG DEFIS or DG GROW or even DG Home, they will, I'm sure, will love to encourage it. Thanks a lot for your presentation. I think your both presentations were very complementary in a sense. The one of Bertrand, the one of Cristina, public and private from two important member states, very active indeed in these sectors. Cristina, you were more in defense. Bertrand, more in security, perhaps, but you see these two fields are pretty much connected. And the beauty of the next speakers is that, yes, they're coming from two of the main programs, European programs, supporting innovative SMEs in these two fields. So basically, as you know, I'm working for the EIC Accelerator. We are covering all sectors apart from defense and armament. And actually colleagues from DG DEFIS, they are the ones sitting on EDF, European Defense Fund, that is precisely supporting all about defense. They have 8 billion euro from 2021 to 2027. We do have 10 billion euro. So indeed, cooperation at our level would be key to support you guys on the field, innovative SMEs. Without waiting anymore, Chris, Meneer, the floor is going to be yours if you're here, and we are very keen to hear what you have to tell us about your company, your solution, and how you have been supported and how you envisage procurement of innovation. Chris, go.
Merci, Bertrand. Hi, my name is Chris. I'll try to make it a bit snappy. We're an SME building the AR and VR platform for mission support and training of lifesavers. And I think in a bit of popular language nowadays, I would probably say we are building the metaverse platform for lifesavers. Tried to get that key or term in there. I'm a graduate student actually of a computer science university here in the Netherlands. Founded the company back in 1999 with a study mate, and in 2005 we got actually drawn into the business of military and security and safety by curiosity. And what we did is, together with the Dutch military, we developed from paper through demonstrator and prototype one of the first full-body multi-person VR training systems for infantry and special operations, and that's some of the pictures that you can now see on this slide. Multiple of these systems have now been running for almost 5 years, and what's interesting is that we also now have spin-offs towards the fire and rescue and the police market. So the picture actually on the right bottom is what you'll see on the fire services side. Now, to stay relevant, we need to keep pushing the boundaries. So right now we're, for instance, the tech supplier in Horizon 2020 Shop Pros project for police and VR training. And as Bertrand already mentioned, we are also working on the EDF program. So what we like is working directly with the end users, because sleeping in the same tent with them and eating the same food ensures a better understanding of what is needed. And it really has something magical when this works out. We now also experience what it means to actually sustain systems in the field. It requires really a different mindset compared to innovation. We're actually in the process right now of changing our company's DNA a bit to achieve this better balance. And with this experience, now we can also clearly see the challenges that we have in our industry. So this is a new slide. It shows our users, and our users that operate mainly actually in analog space. So digital transformation is something that's like quite normal in the business area, but it's absolutely not normal for mainly our users. For them to survive, they need better training. And they need a faster OODA loop. And for people that are unfamiliar to the term OODA, please Google it, or please Google the term John Boyd. The thing is, innovation is a lifeline for our users. But the sad part is that only 5% of the SMEs, they can make the jump from innovation to implementation. And that's mainly due to the amazing long gaps in funding that we see. And why is that? Big projects like, for instance, a new jet fighter or a new tank or a new submarine, they're basically money and attention magnets, and they suck out the budget and the attention from the smaller but also important innovations. I mean, a jet fighter is a very good thing, or a tank is a very good as a deterrent against the war situation, but you will not benefit from these in the other 90% of the time, like the grain zone that we are in now, or for instance, the evacuation that you've seen this year from Kabul. So my takeaway for you today, I think the most important thing is to close the gap from innovation to implementation, leave a slice of budget open without an earmark. And this allows you to implement the less costly but essential innovations. And it ensures you also enough attention actually from the high ranks for these innovations. That's my pitch for now. Bertrand.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, thanks a lot, Chris. I hear you. I hope you hear me.
Yeah.
I'm facing technical issues here, so I've got actually two connections. But anyway, thanks a lot for your presentation, Chris. Thanks for this takeaway also for us. We'll get back to your presentation in the Q&A.
Yeah.
And actually, as said, indeed, next presentation made by Benjamin will nicely complement your presentation, since you are so beneficiary of the European Defence Fund. Benjamin is beneficiary of our fund, the EIC Accelerator. And on the top of it, he did not receive only a grant. Benjamin, you will explain, you receive an investment from us, an equity, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, sorry. So yeah, I don't know if you're up, but I'm changing my network. So yeah, you received an equity, an investment for us. So you will perhaps certainly tell us more about it. And what to add on this, for information, you know that we have this 10 billion to invest. Currently within the EIC Accelerator, we do have more than 70 companies related to security business. And we invested, or we gave grants for almost more than 100 million euros so far, but we will certainly do more. So that was just a couple of data to share with you. Benjamin, the floor is yours, please.
Thank you. Thank you. Merci, Bertrand. Thanks. Hello, everybody. I hope the sound is okay. Yes, okay, perfect. So I will share my screen and then directly go to the presentation. So hopefully you all see my screen now, the big screen of Excel. Yes, hopefully. And so yeah, basically, yes, as Bertrand said, we are very proud to be one of the first companies in Europe to be supported by EIC. That was also following H2020 SME Instrument award winning in 2019, phase 2. And basically, quickly, Exxon, so it's a French company which has also now offices in Germany, in Munich. And two things, X for innovation, Sun for sustainability. The idea is to have the two things together right at the foundation of the company, like two core values. And I'm coming from the space field, you know, where everything is already, everything is solar, everything is highly autonomous, remotely controlled, very reliable. And the idea is to have this concentration of technology, not in basically orbiting flying machine, but in a solar flying machine. So the first machine that we have created based on this based on these ideas is a solar drone, which has a unique patented European aerodynamic configurations of 4 wings, which have a lot of very interesting features. And the idea is to have a small machine, 25 kilo. So the first machine of what we hope to provide is called Solar X1, the first family of small machines, easy to use, highly automated, very reliable, and also with an amazing performance and capabilities in terms of endurance and payloads, and also wind resistance. So we need to have something quite unique, fully electric, and as I said, fully sustainable. So the way it's working basically is that it's catapult takeoff. So I'm just going to share my screen. I hope you have the sound also. Yes, hopefully.
We do have the sound.
Perfect. Okay.
Personally, I don't see the video personally, but.
Oh my God. So,
yeah, okay.
I'm
it's moving on the
video.
screen. So we see the video on the screen.
Yeah. And do you see my presentation?
We see your presentation.
Yeah, all good.
Okay, sorry. So basically, catapult takeoff, everything is fully automated from takeoff up to the landing. And one of the advantages of the system by being fully electric is that it's very silent also. And that's a key thing for some markets, including security markets, as you can imagine. So it behaves like a glider, basically. It's got this very stable configuration, which is also very good for aerial data acquisition. Thanks to this unique aerodynamic capability, the cruise is not too quick, so you don't have these blur effects that you can have sometimes. And as I said earlier, it gives you a very natural, safe aerodynamic configuration, whereby the wings, which are everything is fully composite, can absorb the different pressure and make sure that even if you have gusty area, we've been able to fly up to 25 knots of wind, for example, for special purposes. And then the fuselage keeps very stable like a train. Also, one of the advantages of this configuration is that it gives you a very short landing capability to operate almost anywhere. We have integrated a lot of features inside in our very advanced autopilot, like for example radar, to make sure that the touchdown is done at a very dead impact to ensure very close, very short landing. So that's the system already, Solar 1.2, already fully operational now and ready to be used among the different forces. So we are in contact and project with different European countries. And one of them, for example, is with the French, the Agence Innovation Défense, which is like the French DARPA. And so this machine is currently under mission for different sectors. One of them, you can see Solar X1 flying right here, is for maritime environment. Because when you are able to fly 12 hours, as Solar X1 is able to do, which is basically by multiplying 300% the endurance of the lithium-ion batteries, then you can achieve very long flight offshore. So he opens a complete new spectrum, which could be used especially in some, for example, Southern European countries offshore, because also the more sun, the better. So then you can embed 5 kilos of equipment, which gives you a very good view of the surrounding with the zoom capability and the search and rescue capability. So this is where we are right now. And yeah, some maybe recommendation ideas for the future. So what we really, I think with the European Commission, we have this very unique tool now at European level to promote innovation. So that's very good. And I think what we are really looking for with EIC, which is already what EIC is doing, but we want maybe to do it even stronger with direct connection, very strong with different European institutions. For example, for us, EASA, and Frontex, European Maritime Surveillance Agency, EMSA, okay, European Defense Agency. But also what would be good also is to act as a central point to be able to connect directly with the different European institutions armies, national armies, but also security agencies, search and rescue, also everything which is talking about risk management, which could be deployed also quickly all over the world, like for example, after inundation, floodings, earthquakes. And also one important thing is this capability to establish the right connections to be able to quickly test new innovation. I think this is the key thing, is it has to be powerful and it has to be quick. And yeah, this capability also to put all the relative institution laboratories together. And maybe just to finish from my side, I think I know that there are some discussions about that, but maybe talking about an elephant in the room, which is what about maybe a European DARPA? And that's it for me.
Oh, that was a big hand, actually. Yes, thanks a lot, Benjamin. Very interesting and enthusiastic solution you have here. We've understood the dual use potential of this solution. Just to add to what you just said, actually, is that no, perhaps I will leave the floor open for immediate reactions. If we have something like almost 40 people online, if we do have immediate reaction to what have been said by Benjamin, Chris, Cristina, and Bertrand, do not hesitate to share on the chat, or even why not to take the floor. Any chance for anyone here?
My feeling is a bit, sorry, Bertrand?
Yeah, Chris, please.
Yeah, sorry, just one comment to the last, or remark actually to the last remark from Benjamin. Maybe isn't the EDF fund already something like DARPA, or? Yes, no, I can see you shaking your head.
That's a good question. I don't know if we do have colleagues from DG, Directorate General Defense and Security, here around. In case this is an invitation for you colleagues to take the floor here and to eventually give some answers to this legitimate and right question. Well, my 2 cents is that I believe we would like to try to go that direction. We know that we do have big issues in Europe regarding the internal market and regarding in the sector of defense and security, and particularly defense. We do know that we tried via the procurement directive dedicated to defense area to try to harmonize, to get closer together in terms of public procurement in Europe. These are intention. We know that we are still pretty much to do. I think we had some analysis, revision of the directives made by the Commission, the Parliament in the last years. And I think they clearly identified that much more could be done. I think 80% of the defense procurement is done at national level currently in Europe. So yeah, we understand these national reflex or sovereignty reflex, but indeed much more should be done in this regard. One question to you, notably the SMEs, since we have the chance to have you here, is that would you like to take one example, each of you, to share your experience in terms of procurement, public procurement or even private procurement? What was the relation with the ministries or with the large corporates? Benjamin and Chris, I see that Paul Ancio, my colleague from DG Defis, is giving an answer on the chat. Chris, Benjamin, on the procurement, tell us a bit more about the relation you do.
I mean, just quickly from my side, quickly from my side, working with the AID was good. Let's say that there is a certain latency in having everything ready. But now everything, I mean, it's been signed, it's been done, and hopefully we can progress on that.
So you already had a market with a public procurer.
So yeah, with the French AID, yeah.
Okay, okay. And the relation you said was relatively
Yeah,
smooth.
he was smooth, maybe not the, yeah, he was some work, but yeah, okay. Now it's done.
From my side, Bertrand, if you want to know, we had let's say it's a good relation, but it had its startup difficulties in the sense that not so much from the innovation side. The innovation side is always the easy part, but the implementation side was sometimes a bit difficult because then you get different requirements and also regulations. And that is, for instance, regulations on screening of your personnel, on sustainability of the company, all these kinds of things. And that sometimes it's even a chicken and egg situation. So you can only get the contract if you have specific people screened, but sometimes you can only get the screening once you have the contract. So this is like the catch-22. Anyways, in the end, we managed that, and now we're actually set up. So yes, the first time it might be a bit hard, and it might feel like you're jumping through all kinds of hoops. But once you have that done, then you're good to go. And that's a bit my feeling.
I mean, thank you, Chris, Benang, for that. And in your case, it was a relation with Dutch procurement bodies.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, so that's another challenge for you guys to go abroad at European level. I believe that would be something.
Yeah.
That's the next step indeed. And I mean, the national step is already like an interesting one, and the international one. Then you have like nationality that suddenly becomes a thing. So that's another big step to take again.
Actually, that's perhaps something that Bertrand, if you would like to develop afterwards, if you do have non-French suppliers, and the same for Chris, for Cristina. I'm sure you have some non-Italian suppliers. But before that, Paul Ancio from DG Defis. Are you here, Paul? Do you hear us? Can you speak?
Yes, I can hear you very well.
Cool.
I just wanted
to video if you want.
Yeah,
present yourself and tell us.
Yes, of course. I'm Paul Ancio. I'm not sure if the video is going to work, but let's see. I'm Paul Ancio from DG Defis in the Commission. And as you know, we work mainly, but not only on the European Defence Fund and the implementation there. And Chris made a remark about that. Of course, as we know, we don't have a European DARPA, at least not at this moment. The European Defence Fund is certainly not sort of replacing that, but I think there are different elements in the EDF, in European Defence Fund, that are certainly stimulating our innovation capacity in Europe. And just a few examples, you know that in the current calls, we have, for example, the Open SME call, which really gives a lot of freedom to SMEs to come up with different ideas and solutions. But definitely there's also the disruptive technologies calls. For certain, the topics are fixed, but there is also an open one. So again, it is stimulating entrepreneurs and SMEs in particular, but not only SMEs, to come up with interesting solutions there as well. So I think there are already different building stones in place, and I'm sure that in future we will only step up our efforts in this respect. So that's what I wanted to complement in terms of information.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks for this insight. Actually, I'm sorry for that, Cristina and Bertrand, but I just received a message from the technical support. Laura, thank you for that. That we unfortunately have to stop here the exchange because the line is busy and we do have another presentation very soon. So actually, this is just a call for a next session very soon. Actually, before next year for the next EIC summit. That's my opportunity to say thank you to all of you, Cristina, Benjamin, Bertrand, and Chris, and Paul that passes, and all the colleagues online. And yeah, unfortunately we have to stop here, but that was great. Thank you very much for this exchange, and we will definitely keep in contact. And for the SMEs, please apply EDF or EIC Accelerator. You're all welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Merci.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Cheers.